Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. It's National Heroes Day, the day we honor our heroes by reflecting on their sacrifices for our nation and the contributions they've made to help Jamaica the strong, proud, beautiful country it is today.
It's time again for the JIS Heritage Photo Competition. Are you a tertiary level student? Compose a photo on the theme, Echoes of Freedom, tracing Jamaica's path from colonialism to republic, and make your best submission. Lots of prizes to be won. Visit jis.gov.jm for competition guidelines. Registration is now open and closes October 31. The JIS Heritage Photo Competition 2023. Enter today.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on Jamaicans to be resilient as they remember the struggles and sacrifices of the country's national heroes. The Prime Minister, in his Heroes Day message, is encouraging everyday people to continue to be inspired.
Jamaica. Today, as we have been doing for many decades, actually since 1969, we mark our National Heroes Day. It's a day wherein we celebrate the strength, service, and sacrifice of our national heroes. And importantly, a day that calls upon us to look within ourselves and put into action our own heroism in the service of our country and our fellow citizens. Jamaica needs heroes. Our nation was built on the backs of our heroes, and if we are going to continue our march towards peace and progress and prosperity for our people, we must all answer the call to be heroes. We need our society to be a society of heroes who do the right things, say the right things, and live in the right ways that promote harmony in our society. As we recognize the need for more Jamaican heroes, we salute those who are already heroes among us, individuals and communities who rise above challenges, who lend a helping hand, who inspire hope, and who exemplify the true Jamaican spirit. The many families who work together and raise their children with love, respect, and positive values. The many community members who look out for their neighbors and assist the senior citizens in their communities. The patriots who refuse to give refuge to criminals and provide vital information that helps to apprehend them. The single mothers and fathers who work tirelessly to provide for their children. The teachers who go the extra mile to inspire young minds. The young people who take charge of their own lives and take up opportunities like heart training programs to advance themselves and secure a better future. The citizens who care for the environment by properly disposing of garbage and planting more trees. The healthcare workers who care for the ill. The security personnel who put themselves in harm's way to ensure our safety. The sanitation workers who work hard to keep our surroundings clean. The firemen and women who go into a burning building to rescue fellow citizens. The children who assist their friends and colleagues at school who may be in distress. Every one of you has made a choice to stand up for what is right, to make a positive difference, and to be a beacon of hope for others. Every one of you is a hero, and today, Jamaica celebrates you. We need heroes who will uplift our country by fostering meaningful dialogue instead of engaging in destructive misinformation practices that create strife, discontent, discord, and hostility in our society. Our individual actions in our circle of influence, whether it be amongst our friends, families, churches, schools, clubs, and groups, have a profound impact on our country as a whole. We cannot allow our society to sink into moral, intellectual, social, and economic depression. We must choose to make our country better through our daily actions. This Heroes Day, let us not pay lip service to ourselves and to our country. Let us no longer collectively commiserate about what's wrong with Jamaica, but rather let us resolve to work individually and collectively to create the Jamaica we all so desperately yearn to see. We have the capacity. We can all be heroes for Jamaica. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Nanny of the Maroons, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Norman Washington Manley, and Sir Alexander Bustamante exemplify what it means to be a hero, and we must reflect often on their legacy, which calls on us to be architects of positive change, the guardians of justice and champions of unity. In 2023, we find ourselves facing a unique set of challenges. As Jamaica undergoes significant transformation, our communities continue to grapple with issues such as economic inequality, crime, environmental issues, as well as the access to quality education and healthcare. My fellow Jamaicans, I'm here to tell you that there is hope. As we wrestle with these challenges, good things are also happening in Jamaica. For every bad thing that you see or hear about, there are also many good things. It is up to each of us to not only take note of the good things, but to share the good things that are happening. The fact is that amidst the global challenges, Jamaica has been able to report 9 consecutive quarters of economic growth since the pandemic. A historically low unemployment rate of 4.5%, which is lower than even some of our developed country partners. Increased export earnings, a significantly lower level of national debt, and the best international credit rating that we have ever received in our history. So what does all of this mean for you? It means more jobs and more economic opportunities. It means your government can now allocate more money in the budget to fix our roads, build more houses, supply water to our communities, improve our schools, improve our hospitals, pay our police, teachers, nurses, and workers generally more. This Heroes Day, be a catalyst for renewed determination. Let us be heroes in our homes, in our churches, in our schools, in our workplaces, and in our communities. Let us work hand in hand to build a Jamaica that continues to shine as a beacon of progress, inclusivity, and prosperity. May the indomitable spirit of our heroes guide and inspire us all to overcome any obstacle, surmount any hurdle, and continue our journey towards a brighter tomorrow. Together, we must keep on building Jamaica. Happy Heroes Day. May God continue to bless each and every one of you, and God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Opposition leader Mark Golding wants Jamaicans to continue to view the country's national heroes as inspirations. Mr. Golding, in his Heroes Day message, believes that Jamaicans can be unstoppable if they draw on the strength of our heroes.
Heroes are not defined by superhuman physical abilities, but rather by the strength of their will, courage, and commitment to a noble cause. In other words, heroes recognize the power within themselves and within others to make transformational, positive change. They exemplify the truth that each of us has the capacity to make an impact by standing up for what is right. In the life stories of our heroes, we find inspiration to move beyond our current reality and take our people to a higher level of development, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to make a positive difference in the world. It was on October 20th, 1969, that we first celebrated National Heroes Day, the day when we pay special homage to heroic acts of those before us who stood up for justice, freedom, and equality. On National Heroes Day, we pay tribute to those who have shaped the course of our history, when we remember and honor the sacrifices made by those great men and women who, faced with adversity, demonstrated unwavering courage and determination. We salute the memory of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Nanny of the Maroons, Norman Washington Manley, and Sir Alexander Bustamante. Their sacrifices changed the history of our nation, and their legacies continue to inspire us. Their contributions are etched into the very fabric of our national identity. It is with great pride and honor that we honor them for what they did for us. They epitomize the unbreakable spirit of unity that defines us as Jamaicans. National Heroes Day is also an appropriate occasion to address the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for our country. When we reflect on the values and principles that our national heroes lived and died for, we must ask ourselves some pertinent questions. Are we living up to those ideals? Are we working to make Jamaica a land of opportunity and equality for all our citizens, regardless of their background or circumstances? Are we doing enough to address the social and economic inequalities that persist in our society even today? Our national heroes would want us to continue striving for a better Jamaica. They would want to see us building a Jamaica where every child has access to quality education, where every Jamaican has the opportunity to earn a decent living by lawful means, and where the rights and dignity of every Jamaican are respected and protected by our nation state. It is our responsibility to carry forward their vision and work towards a brighter future for all. Our heroes fought for our freedom from enslavement, oppression, and exploitation. They would want us to achieve our full political and economic independence, shedding all residual vestiges of colonial subjugation. We must therefore continue on their path to achieve full decolonization by removing the King of England as our head of state and by removing his Privy Council as our final court of appeal. We must have faith in ourselves and in the great institutions like the Caribbean Court of Justice that we have conceptualized, funded, and brought into being to give our people access to quality justice. It is time to free ourselves from the mental slavery that is reinforced by these colonial trappings that remain at the apex of our system of governance, as we must recognize that we are not subordinate to anyone else. Our heroes understood the power of education in empowering our people to move forward in their lives and end intergenerational poverty. We must invest in our education system to ensure that it provides a pathway to success for every child. Quality education should be accessible to all, and we must all support our teachers and schools in achieving this goal. It will require all of us committing to that essential task and playing our parts to make it happen. We have the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey as our first national hero. Marcus taught us to recognize and embrace how great we are, and to love and have pride in ourselves and our great African history and heritage. Yet still, our society struggles collectively with deep-rooted issues that lead to dysfunctional behaviors. We must include the teachings of Marcus Garvey in our schools to inspire confidence and a positive self-image in our children. The power of his philosophy of self-confidence, self-help, and the power of collective effort can inspire our people to believe that we can achieve what we will if we set our minds to it and work steadfastly to accomplish our goals. As has been said already, so let it be done. None but ourselves can free our minds. The fight for social and economic justice was at the heart of our heroes' struggles. We must confront and bring an end to the current injustices in our society. We must ensure that every Jamaican has access to a solid education, quality health care, decent housing, and other basic social services, regardless of where they live or their financial circumstances. Our national heroes came from diverse backgrounds, but they struggled for the common cause of building a better Jamaica. We must embrace our diverse ethnicities and social backgrounds and work together as one nation. As leaders, we must cast aside the pettiness of tribal political divisions and the selfishness of personal ambitions and work collectively for the greater good of all our people. Time come for a new spirit of oneness in Jamaica. In the traditions of National Heroes Day, I call upon all Jamaicans to come together to address our nation's most difficult challenges. It is by working together that we will build a Jamaica that our heroes fought and died for. A Jamaica that finally embodies their great ideals of freedom, justice, and equality for all. Happy Heroes Day, Jamaica. May God continue to bless us all, and Jamaica, land we love.
Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. Mosquitoes will breed in any container that holds water.
Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, barrels, buckets and tanks. If this cannot be done, pour cooking oil on the water surface. Punch holes in all tins, plastics and beverage boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover all tires or fill with dirt to prevent water collection. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs. Use mosquito repellents to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Dispose of garbage properly by placing in plastic bags and securing properly to prevent water collection.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
What do you know about Moutamas Eliza and Shiny Eye Gal? Well, parents and teachers of Dunrobin Primary School seem to know a lot about them, and they're not afraid to say what they know. I'm sure you enjoyed that rendition as much as I did. But on a more serious note, there are more than 1,000 presumed, suspected, and confirmed dengue cases on the island. Here are some steps you can take to help with the disease.
We have declared that we're now in a dengue outbreak. The dengue type 2 strain is the most prevalent strain right now. The last time this was predominant was in 2010. What this means is that persons less than 14 are more likely to be affected. Dengue type 2 is known to produce a more severe illness. In addition, because persons would have been exposed in 2019 with dengue type 3 or 4, they will now get dengue type 2 as a secondary illness. And secondary dengue is also known to produce a more severe illness. In 2019, our children were affected severely by dengue, and many of them passed. Now, a lot of those deaths was caused by the use of medications such as ibuprofen, diclofenac, and medications called non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs to treat fever. These medications either cause bleeding or worsen bleeding. I'm asking all parents, please consult with your pharmacist. Use only medication like paracetamol or acetaminophen. Use tepid sponge to lower the fever, and if that works, then you don't have to go to medications. But again, I stress, avoid ibuprofen, avoid diclofenac or other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. For the most part, dengue is a mild illness and can be treated at home. However, persons have to be aware of the warning signs that say that you're going to go on to severe dengue. Severe dengue tends to happen after the fever subsides and you have a persistent of not feeling well, in particular abdominal pain and vomiting. If this happens, then you must seek advice from your doctor. You must either visit the health center, your private practitioner, or the hospital. If your symptoms are severe, then you must go to the emergency room. I'm asking that persons do not rush the emergency departments because the severe illnesses need to go to the emergency departments. And if we crowd the emergency departments, it will delay care, the time to care for these persons that really need to be there.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets, and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers, and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old tires or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
The Houses of Parliament bears his name, but how much do you know about the heroic deeds of the national hero, George William Gordon? Let's find out more in this feature.
George William Gordon, now Right Excellent George William Gordon, national hero, was born in 1815, the son of a Scottish father and an enslaved Jamaican mother. He got a call to make the world a better place, and for that he was never forgiven. You should know then that conditions in Jamaica then were just unbelievable. People were suffering. 311,000 persons in 1838 enslaved, received their freedom and were just thrown outside. And what George William Gordon did, he bought lands and he cut up the lands and allowed the poor, the dispossessed, to have access to the land. And his colleagues did not like that. He chastised the governor in meetings right at the space that the governor needed to do more for the people. And the governor didn't like it, called him a mischief maker. And this is the space where George William Gordon came to, as it were, give up himself because he heard they were looking for him. And from here, he was taken to St. Thomas, where he was tried and hanged on the 23rd of October, 1865. And he reached the Friday, and they hanged him the Monday morning. But before he was hanged, he asked for permission to write a letter to his dear wife, Lucy. He had married this lady, Shannon, Lucy Shannon. He married her, and he asked that he could write a letter, and they allowed him to write the letter. That would have been Sunday night, early Monday morning. He wrote the letter to say that he was innocent. And if anything that he did that was bad, was to help poor people.
Motorists, please look out for us when we're crossing the road.
Thank you for being with us today on Jamaica Magazine. And just before we go, remember, a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Join us again tomorrow for another interesting journey. Of course, you can visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.